You reach for that sweet treat, a delicious cookie, a comforting soda, or that piece of chocolate after a long day. It feels like a small, harmless pleasure, a well-deserved reward in our busy lives. But have you ever truly considered what happens inside your body on a microscopic level, moments after that sugar passes your lips? The reality is a complex and powerful chain reaction, a silent storm that directly targets the delicate symphony of your female hormones. We are not just talking about calories. We are talking about a fundamental shift in your body's entire operating system. And it all begins with that first, deceptively simple, sweet bite. The moment sugar from that food enters your bloodstream, your body's internal alarm system sounds. Your pancreas gets an urgent signal and swings into action, releasing a crucial hormone, insulin. Think of insulin as the ultimate gatekeeper, the key master of your body. Its primary job is to take a key and unlock the doors to your body's cells, allowing the sugar, or glucose, to move from your blood inside, where it can be used for immediate energy. In a perfectly balanced system, this process is elegant, smooth, and efficient. However, the modern diet is a minefield of sugar. It's cleverly hidden in foods we perceive as healthy, that morning cereal, the natural fruit juice, low-fat yogurts, and even savory items like ketchup and pasta sauces. This constant, relentless exposure forces your pancreas to work in overdrive, pumping out insulin day in and day out. Imagine a key master trying to open millions of doors, all day long. Eventually, the locks on those doors start to get rusty and jammed from overuse. This is a vivid picture of insulin resistance. Your cells, constantly bombarded by insulin, become desensitized. They effectively change the locks, and insulin's key no longer fits properly. Now, your body faces a dangerous double jeopardy: high levels of sugar floating in your blood with nowhere to go, and dangerously high levels of insulin still trying, and failing, to manage the crisis. This is the exact point where the direct assault on your female hormones begins and intensifies. High circulating levels of insulin send a loud and distorted message to your ovaries, telling them to ramp up the production of androgens, specifically testosterone. While women need a small amount of testosterone for muscle tone, libido, and energy, an excess amount is highly disruptive. It manifests in common and distressing symptoms. Your menstrual cycle becomes erratic or disappears altogether. Painful, cystic acne erupts along your jawline. You might notice your hair thinning on your head, while at the same time, unwanted, coarse hair appears on your face, chest, or back. This specific mechanism is one of the primary drivers behind polycystic ovary syndrome, or PCOS. Simultaneously, insulin resistance is intrinsically linked to an increase in visceral fat that wraps around your internal organs. This is not an active tissue, it's a metabolically active factory, producing its own estrogen. This contributes to a state of estrogen dominance, where your estrogen levels are critically high in relation to your progesterone. The symptoms of this imbalance can be debilitating: excruciatingly heavy and painful periods, severe and emotionally draining PMS, constant bloating that makes you feel uncomfortable in your own clothes, tender and swollen breasts, and unpredictable mood swings that can strain your relationships and your mental health. Now let's add another critical layer: your gut. Your digestive tract is home to trillions of bacteria, a complex ecosystem known as your microbiome. A diet high in sugar is the preferred food for the bad bacteria, allowing them to overgrow and crowd out the beneficial ones. This imbalance, called dysbiosis, can damage the lining of your intestines, leading to a condition known as leaky gut. This allows undigested food particles and toxins to leak into your bloodstream, triggering body-wide inflammation. This systemic inflammation is a major stressor that further worsens insulin resistance. Furthermore, your gut contains a specific collection of bacteria called the estrobolome, whose job is to process and eliminate excess estrogen from your body. When your gut health is poor, your estrobolome can't function properly, leading to estrogen being reabsorbed into your system, pouring more fuel on the fire of estrogen dominance. This chronic inflammation also has a direct impact on your brain. It can disrupt the production of key neurotransmitters that regulate your mood. The temporary high you feel from sugar is a fleeting spike in dopamine, the pleasure molecule, which is why it feels so addictive. However, the long-term inflammation impairs the production of serotonin, often called the happiness molecule. The result is a greater disposition to anxiety, low mood, and even depression, creating a direct physiological link between what you eat and how you feel emotionally. And what about your sleep? Have you ever found yourself wide awake at 3 a.m. for no reason? That could be your blood sugar. After a sugary meal, your blood sugar can crash hours later, even while you sleep. Your body perceives this crash as a danger and releases cortisol and adrenaline to raise it back to a stable level. This jolt of stress hormones is often enough to wake you up, leaving you staring at the ceiling. Poor sleep then creates a vicious cycle, as it is proven to increase insulin resistance and sugar cravings the very next day. This entire process completely hijacks your appetite. Your hormonal system has two key players that regulate hunger: ghrelin, the go hormone that screams eat, and leptin, the stop hormone that whispers you're full. High insulin levels and inflammation can cause leptin resistance. Your brain's command center, the hypothalamus, stops hearing the message that you are full. So even after a large meal, your brain is convinced you are starving and needs more energy. Fast. And what's the fastest source of energy it knows? Sugar. This is not a lack of willpower, it is a biological command. So, that single sweet treat is never just one thing. It is the first domino in a cascade that topples your insulin, which then disrupts your sex hormones, inflames your gut, imbalances your brain chemistry, and wrecks your sleep, all while sabotaging your hunger signals. It is a whole body problem. Understanding this deep, intricate connection is the most critical and empowering step you can take. This knowledge is not meant to create guilt, it is meant to give you power. By consciously managing your sugar intake, you are not just making a simple diet choice. You are making a profound, revolutionary decision to protect and rebalance your entire hormonal system, paving the way for a healthier, more energetic, and more vibrant you.